little bit of cloud cover still across parts of central Illinois. Other spots seeing more of a starry clear sky here. That's settling the difference with temperatures. Champaign right now down to 43. We got a north and east wind out there. Last check is at 14 miles an hour. Some chillier air to the north and east here. 38 in Chicago. Those blue colors divide where we've got some clouds that have cleared out. Cloud cover lingering though. Still 50 in Springfield, 56 in Effingham, 61 down in St. Louis. There's that north and east wind. Had some noticeable wind gusts pop up there. 29-mile-an-hour gusts in Springfield. I think that wind will settle down in the next couple of hours. There's some clouds and clear sky here. The clear sky areas probably get the chance for some frost by the time we roll into tomorrow morning. Frost may not be done yet even after that. We'll talk about the chance for some spring showers in the 7-day forecast, frost and more coming up as WCIA 3 News at 10 starts right now.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 10.
Well, I think that this is not an issue of women's health.
It is, to me, absolutely insane that especially males would walk up here and say, you should never be allowed to have an abortion.
A passionate debate in Danville tonight. City leaders are considering a measure that would restrict access to abortions, and people from both sides of the argument filled the city council chamber. Good evening, I'm Brendan Morano.
And I'm Jessica Coons. The ACLU addressed Danville's proposal, saying if it passes, the city is subjecting itself to serious legal liability. WCIA 3's Scarlett O'Hara was at tonight's Public Services Committee meeting and joins us now. Scarlett, the big question is, would this ordinance be legal?
An ACLU representative was at that meeting, reiterating the position the group took in a letter to the city. They say the ordinance is unenforceable under the state's Reproductive Health Act, which guarantees access to abortion as a fundamental right in Illinois. Mayor Ricky Williams Jr. explained that anyone shipping or receiving abortion pills or abortion-related supplies would be subject to fines of up to $1,500 per offense. There was discussion over an abortion clinic that may open up in Danville soon. Williams acknowledged that while he doesn't think the ordinance would stop the clinic from opening, he said it could provide a means by which they couldn't perform abortions. But one council member said internal counsel estimates that if litigation was brought against the city, it could cost up to $1 million to defend, or more if it goes all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court.
You won't know until the finality, which could go beyond potentially to the Supreme Court level.
And my response to that is, are we planning to donate $1 million to find out? Is it worth $1 million to find out?
It's worth $1 million to win.
And if we lose?
Ultimately, the committee voted 3-1 to recommend the ordinance be considered by the full city council. The first step toward an outcome many who describe themselves as pro-life during public comment are hoping for. Now, also during public comment, people on one side of the debate called providing abortions a grisly business that doesn't belong in their city, while the other side says it's necessary health care, telling the government to stay out of the doctor's office. Brandon.
All right, thank you, Scarlett. A lot to unpack there. It's taken 2 years of negotiating and a strike, but EIU faculty and staff have officially ratified a new contract agreement. WCIA 3's Marley Capper live in the newsroom. Marley, union members voted today.
EIU's union has over 300 voting members. Tonight, 92% of them voted to approve the agreement. Faculty members went on strike because they wanted better pay and a lighter workload. And they say the new contract does that, although not to the extent that they were fighting for. Faculty will get a bump in pay over the next 4 years. The first year will be a 5% increase. Year 2 will be 4%, and years 3 and 4 will be 3% increases. They will also have fewer day-to-day responsibilities. The union president says they'll never get everything on their wish list, but she's very happy with this final contract and believes it sets the tones for other universities.
I think that has been maybe a catalyst to help Chicago State get settled, Governor State get settled. Northeastern Illinois University didn't even have to go on strike, and Western Illinois University is probably not going to go on strike.
The new contract expands parental leave, including giving it to people who adopt and foster. It also will allow employees to take the time sooner than before. Now, I have reached out to EIU for a comment and have not heard back yet. Reporting live in the newsroom, Marley Capper, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
All right, thank you, Marley. Also at EIU, Charleston firefighters are using an old dorm for training exercises. Carmen Hall hasn't been used in years. The fire chief says this gives the department a unique opportunity. They can get hands-on experience with elevator systems and doing search and rescues in a large building.
You don't find very many high-rise buildings that are unoccupied, so having this in our backyard per se is real beneficial to us. The guys get a lot of training out of it. Other area departments are going to be getting training out of it as well.
He says there won't be any live fires at the dorm, but if you see a lot of trucks in the area, they're most likely doing training.
President Joe Biden announced today he will be running for re-election, and Illinois will play a big part in his bid to stay in office. The Democratic National Convention will be held in Chicago for the first time since 1968. Now, at one point, Governor Pritzker's name was thrown around as a potential presidential candidate, but with today's announcement, Pritzker is leaving no room for doubt that he will support Biden's run. In a statement, the governor said he's proud to support him for re-election and ready for the fight ahead. We have an update tonight to a Target 3 investigation. Springfield Clinic says Blue Cross Blue Shield still lists dozens of its doctors as in-network, even though the two split nearly a year and a half ago.
They sent a letter to the state drawing attention to the issue, openly questioning the investigation the state already conducted. Our Capitol Bureau Chief Cole Hankey live in our Capitol newsroom. Cole, the state already fined Blue Cross Blue Shield.
That's right. Blue Cross Blue Shield has had to pay nearly $1 million to the state in fines, but now Springfield Clinic wants to see real accountability. Springfield Clinic sent a letter to the Department of Insurance, or IDOI, questioning the scope of the department's investigation into Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. The department's investigation found the network had a, quote, adequate patient-to-provider ratio. Springfield Clinic did its own analysis of the directory and told IDOI they found 100 clinic providers on it who shouldn't be there.
Where does accountability come into place? It has been a year and a half, and still you have 100 providers listed. That's either intentional or just incompetence, but either way, it's our patients who are suffering as a result of it.
In response to the letter from the clinic, the department doubled down on its investigation, saying, quote, the department recently concluded a market conduct exam with findings related to updating provider directories and is committed to ensuring that Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois comes into compliance with the resulting director's order. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois defended its directories as well. In a statement, a spokesperson for Blue Cross Blue Shield said, quote, we strive to provide our members with useful information about the availability of network providers through a directory that is up to date, accurate, and complete in compliance with the law. It is typical for many providers to have affiliations with more than one health system, hospital, or facility. Since the clinic and the health insurance company parted ways nearly 18 months ago, the clinic says it's still helping patients find new in-network doctors, and they want to make sure the state is actually holding companies accountable.
But now the question is what legislation must come into place that provides true enforcement and true accountability for insurers who are potentially intentionally misleading patients.
Now, earlier this year, the state passed new rules on how they would police health insurance companies and their directories' adequacy, and they really focused on the Network Adequacy and Transparency Act and giving that law some real teeth. But this investigation into Blue Cross Blue Shield actually finished up before those new rules were put into place. Reporting in Springfield, I'm Cole Hankey, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
All right, Cole, thank you.
Another wind turbine down, where a second one in central Illinois has come tumbling down.
Also tonight, it's a dance all for safety, where our very own Jacob Dickey led these kids into a bright spot for the day.
I love that you're leading a dance.
Oh. Yeah, right? I'm definitely not on camera.
You are recording.
Yeah, got the chance to go visit local schools, so you'll see that coming up. I'm going to dance through the forecast coming up. If you go outside tonight, you might need to dance to keep warm. Freeze warnings and frost advisories for some of us out there. We'll talk about that. Some sunshine for tomorrow when the rain returns and more. I've got your full forecast coming up after this.